All right, here we go. We are live. This is Hugo Sabinovich. Hi to all of our friends. This is Facebook Live for all the wrestling aficionados around the world. Thank you to all English-speaking fans all over the world. Welcome to another edition of Atangana, the show. And, of course, one of the main subjects tonight will be the 25th anniversary of Raw. We're going to be talking about the very sad story of Enzo Amore, the new Intercontinental Champion Miss, many of the things that happened at the Raw anniversary, 25th anniversary, and one of the sad situations that happened in one of the venues, the Manhattan Center, what part of the event was taking place, and fans were very upset, and we have a lot more to talk about. So we want to welcome all our fans. Well, welcome to Atangana, the show. My name is Hugo Sabinovich. I am executive producer of New Generation Championship Wrestling in Orlando, Florida. We're having a show on the Firefrog Stadium in Kissimmee, Florida. February 24th, the main event will feature Alberto Del Rio versus Carlito Caribbean Cool. Attitude style match. Badass Billy Gunn against the Giant Snitsky. And many more matches, and that's on the 20. That will be on the 24th of February. I'm also helping to produce Imperial Lucha in Peru, February 4th in Lima, Peru. The main event there will be Carlito Caribbean Cool defending the Imperial Championship against the Machine from Lucha Underground, Cage, the man called Cage, Brian Cage. And many more bouts, and many more events that I'm producing, including I'm traveling to Mexico for a new project. Next week, I will tell you all about it. And we want to welcome my wife, the Dangerous Blonde, Diana, and we want to get as soon as possible to your comments. Diana, welcome to all of our fans around the world.
Hello, everybody. So nice to be with you again another Wednesday night in the English version of Atangana, the show. Hugo, we had a really busy Monday night because we had a right after the 25th anniversary, Raw 25th anniversary. We had so many people writing in.
Yeah, we had about 6,000 comments.
It's just amazing. And the sad part is that we were expecting so much, and the majority of the comments were negative comments. People were waiting for more. But anyway, let's start over here with Dario Sanchez says, hi, Hugo. Blessings from Monterrey, Mexico.
Monterrey, Mexico, in the house.
We say hello to Stephen David, says, Skylon Latino. Chris Marcy Janik says, what's up from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh in the house.
We also have Charlie Serrato says, hello. And Humberto Sala says, hello from Peru. So Fernando Vinuesa says, hello, well, thanks for the report. And Simon Michelson says, ole, Hugo. So hello to all the wrestling fans. You know what unites us? We can be different races, different countries, different everything, but we're all wrestling fans.
Yes, and we want to welcome all our beautiful friends from the most distinguished and powerful wrestling Facebook pages in the world. We want to welcome Sportskeeda Wrestling that covers the United States, England, and India. Our good friends from the World Wrestling Network covering Pakistan, Asia, and Egypt. The Pro Wrestling World covering the United States and Philippines. Wrestling Rumors covering Canada and Australia. WWE Australian fans covering Australia and Nepal. WWE Champions, Brazil. The Wrestling Insiders covering Malaysia and United Kingdom. The Spotlight covering United States, India, and Canada. The Gift of Jericho covering United Kingdom, United States, and Pakistan. Thank you, DX. thank you, DX and Undertaker covering Indonesia and France. Real Wrestling Fans covering Egypt, India, and United States. We Love Pro Wrestling covering Canada, United Kingdom, and United States. And Más Lucha covering Mexico. WWE Latin America covering Ecuador. WWE Humor covering Guatemala. Queremos WWE Chile, Planeta Wrestling Spain, WWE World Fans Perú, solo para fanáticos de la WWE Bolivia, Suplex Chile, WWE Universo Latino Ecuador, WWE Nación Mundial Honduras, República Dominicana, WWE es mi pasión El Salvador, WWE Fanatic World, Colombia, Perú y Chile. Caín, WWE Colombia. Hablemos de lucha, Estados Unidos, México y Ecuador. We have Lucha Libre, MX, PR, Puerto Rico, México y Perú. WWE Fanáticos Mundial, Nicaragua. Un total de 28 alianzas. A total of 28 alliances, of course. Lucha Libre Online. Thank you for being with us. And we're going to start right with more comments, Diana.
Yeah, we want to know, to all those English-speaking fans, what did you think about the 25th anniversary of Raw? I mean, there were a lot of legends that were there, but what they were saying is that they were like there. There wasn't really nothing like happening. So what does everybody think? And what is your comment? Did you like the 25th anniversary? Did you expect more? Are you satisfied? So give us your comments.
Of course. One of the things that people were very much surprised, there was no Hulk Hogan on the 25th anniversary. Randy Orton, his wife, on her personal account, displayed anger, and she was upset of not having her husband, Randy Orton, on the show. I totally agree with her. We haven't seen any official statements from WWE, but Randy Orton has been day in, day out, one of the top stars for WWE, and especially for Raw. Many fans have written to us. Like I said, after the anniversary, we were in Bolivia. We were recovering from a tough cold and the altitude in Bolivia, and we still did the Raw report in Spanish, and we had, thousands and thousands of fans. But of those thousands and thousands of fans, we had about 6,000 comments. And like my wife said, Diana, it's very dangerous when fans that love your product on the 25th anniversary are disappointed. The wife of Randy Orton was very upset. And let's see if we have more comments there, Diana.
Okay, Luis Eduardo Cosio said it was horrible, and you write horrible the same in Spanish than in English. Simon Michelson says, I thought it could have been a better 25th anniversary. Zach Cook says, I was a little disappointed about Raw 25. No Lita for women's segment was a mistake.
And I don't think it would have been very hard to get Lita because she has done a lot of things for them. I believe that the creative mess affected them. But my take on this, when I saw the beginning of Stephanie, Shane, and then Mr. McMahon coming in, wow, that reminded me of the over 17 years that I worked for them, producing and doing play-by-play in Spanish and in WWE pay-per-views. It's 17 years of working for Vince just came to life when I saw Mr. McMahon coming in, and the whole place, the Barclays Center, was rocking. It just reminded me of the Attitude Years. It reminded me of me being at the ringside table with Carlos, the boys Cabrera, and next to me on the English table, Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross. Everything was so good. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold. 316 comes in, and then everything just was great on that segment. The stunners of Stone Cold Steve Austin, their place was like electrified. Yet, after that segment, it just, yes, we didn't have The Undertaker, and we're going to talk about those things, but I think they missed the boat with the creative part, because if you don't have anything strong to end the show with, then that beginning, there is no way you could catch up with it. But let's go to the fans and the comments, Diana.
JJ Poland says, anniversary show was horrible. Was more of what the WWE wants. Nothing but scripted scenes, talk and drama, and almost no wrestling. Jay Lopez says from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn in the house.
Justin J. Lopez of the Spotlight. I would like to know your thoughts on the way Road Dogg has been booking SmackDown. It seems all they do is take a Raw script, cross the names out, and replace it with backed out names. What is your thought?
I'm totally disappointed with the creative of every show in WWE. I think that that's why we do these shows, because it's not about what Hugo says of my wife Diana. I want, and they do. I want the creative of WWE to check this out, and also we usually also talk about other companies, and I like their creative teams to look at it because you are the customer, and to me that's the important part. What you guys think?
Simon Michaelson says, when Divas came out, where was the Glamazon?
Wow, and even I'm not contradicting the match because you have to put over that they were selling the Royal Rumble, the historic Royal Rumble, first female Royal Rumble, but even that needed a little bit more tuning. When you have your gala show, you don't have more chances for a 25th anniversary. Yes, you could do a big celebration for another show in the future. And every year, we say the same thing. I congratulate WWE. I bless WWE. The historic fact of 25th years of uninterrupted TV for 25 years, doing live TV, WWE. Wow. Raw, that, I take my hat off to Vince. But at where they are, at the level that they are, what were they thinking on the creative part on having in two buildings and creating a scandal where the fans at the Manhattan Center wanted their money back? They were furious. They were upset. I think they had to send, if I'm not mistaken, Javier Gonzalez, our main guy from Lucha Libre Around, reported that I think it was Ric Flair and the Miz or somebody were sent right away to the building because the fans were very upset. I heard some comments that were horrible. My take on this, I know you have to honor the place where Raw started, but it was wrong to do it on the two buildings the same night. The right idea should have been on Sunday, do a special show on the WWE Network Sunday night, do it from the Manhattan Center, like the pre-night of the 25th anniversary, where everything began, and you have that show on Sunday leading up to Monday at the Barclays Center. That way you don't break with history. You did honor the building where it all started. But when you have so many stars, you cannot give the fans at the Manhattan Center such a poor show and then then be surprised that the fans are going to be upset with you. It should have been the night before, the beginning of the big party, and then go into Monday night 25th anniversary.
Marcus Lager said, "Yo, Hugo, holy crap, I love you in WWE. I just wondered the other day what you've been up to. Hope all is well."
Yes, as a matter of fact, when we started the show, I just said about the productions that I have. The 4th in February 4th in Peru, Imperio, and 24th in Kissimmee, Florida, for the Lucha Conquest 2. The saga continues.
New Generation Championship.
New Generation Championship Wrestling. And I'm traveling early in the morning to Mexico for a new big production. And I did the first season of Lucha Underground. You can find that on Netflix. I've done events for Crash, TV events for the Crash Lucha Libre in Tijuana. I have done pay-per-views, big shows for AAA in Mexico. I have my own company in Chile called Wrestling Superstar. I was the producer of the events where the Hardys fought against the Young Bucks, the ladder match, the Mysterio Mania shows in South America that brought WWE back to South America. So I've been staying busy. We just came back from Bolivia. My wife and I, we help the youth around the world with positive conferences. And, so we stay busy. And we got this Facebook Live with these great wrestling pages that allow us to go into your home.
Ace Zap says, I think they need new writers. Speaking of WWE, and the 25th anniversary was horrible. I think it could have been better. Justin Lee Allen says, Enzo is fired. Yay, I can watch wrestling again.
Well, the show had the Raw 25th anniversary had 4,497,000 viewers, up from the week before that they had 3,250,000.
Will wait for it. Miller says, do you think Enzo will be welcome back someday if he is innocent?
Well, I'm sorry for the coughing. There's a big situation, and the situation was that Enzo Amore was fired. I got the official statement, was fired from the WWE because he, Enzo, had complete knowledge of the accusations against him, and that they were under investigation by the police. They were investigating what happened, and he did everything on his power. Enzo did everything on his power to hide that information from WWE, and Enzo allowed this to escalate to another level, and was on that same night of the anniversary of the 25th anniversary of Raw that officials of WWE found out through Twitter of the accusations and investigations were legit. And then Enzo arrived Monday night for the 25th anniversary with a shirt that said, the slogan of the t-shirt said, "Today is the best day of my life, and I cannot wait for tomorrow," on the behind part of his back part of his shirt, and with an attitude of arrogance that was his usual. That's why Vince McMahon was so upset and simply told him, "Just get out of here." And that was that's why the company never wished him well on his on their website, the official WWE website, and they had all the rights to do that under the performance clause of each athlete, which is based on the clause of any way that you jeopardize the company's name. It's grounds to terminate your contract. So very, very sad. Is he innocent or not? The judges, the court will decide that. But when you hide that from the company, then you are creating a bigger problem. There was no more big defender of Enzo than Vince McMahon. When everybody wanted to take the title, the Cruiserweight title, Vince backed him up. He said, "Fans love the way he talks. We don't have a big star yet on the Cruiserweight, and they were banking on Enzo." So what he did of hiding the truth, and that's what the statement says of WWE, actually just made Vince said, "You're fired."
Christopher Colbeck says, "What do you think of the Undertaker promo? I'm still trying to figure it out."
Well, I believe that it was done on purpose. We have stated on our Spanish shows and on the English shows, right here on your favorite Facebook wrestling page, we had stated before that at a moment it did not look that he could have, even if he wanted the Undertaker a chance health-wise to come back. But after he went to a SmackDown show and he said in the dressing room that this is the best he has felt physically and emotionally in years, that set up a lot of reactions, and we even talked that there could be a way of having the Undertaker do one last match, as we all know that the fans were very, very sad and upset the way that WrestleMania ended with not really an official goodbye. And we also were talking about a payday of $2 million. Did that promo specify he's coming back? No. Did it specify that was goodbye or that he was ready to bury more souls? Yes, he did say that.
Seferino Burgos, we say hello to Seferino Burgos in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Mark Hinojosa says, "Wyatt versus Hardy was just a match that went through the motions. How many times do we need to see them in watered-down caliber matches? The feud seems stuck."
And you know who we have to blame? Creative. You have two tremendous performers that have fans that love their gimmick, their character. And when you just rush it, like the fan just stated, you are diluting something that is great. You're diluting it, and then you blame the wrestlers when it doesn't get over.
Dave James from Wales says,
Wales in the house.
Do you think social media has spoiled kayfabe?
Listen, it's inevitable with social media that things will happen. But when you do great things, even with the kayfabe or no kayfabe, or the Dave Meltzers and what we do on our coverage is that I let you guys talk. I do not go on spoilers. You have an open mic here, but when I am asked about things, I just say, listen, that was your question. Let's enjoy the magic of the storyline, and we will talk about after the event. When things are done right, I don't think it affects it.
Thomas Ellsworth says, hi, Hugo. What could it mean the Undertaker returned this past Monday? People still keep saying that his feud could be made against John Cena at WrestleMania. Will it be true, or it could be others' way for the Phenom at WrestleMania?
I do hope, and I keep myself limited on comments because Royal Rumble, it's coming around, and what I don't want to do is do a spoiler for that. But there's so many ways that you could do this. I was so happy to see The Undertaker looking healthy. It was very sad for me to see him, he couldn't even really stand up straight on the last WrestleMania, and to see him again, and for the fans to be able to see him on the 25th anniversary like that. One big moment that was wasted, Chris Jericho. Yes, he did appear. He had the list and everything. But I think WWE Creative wasted a big moment. My take on this is, if I would have been producing it or being part of the creative team, I would have had that segment where Elias, who I think is getting over, Elias is getting over. When he was doing his thing, I would have popped Jericho's music on, and I would have had Jericho come in through the fans, through the audience, into the ring, and do something together, music-wise, together, and either go two ways, or have Elias attack Jericho, or have Jericho attack Elias with the guitar on the back. No head, no need to do any violence, but it would have been big news. The fans would have loved it. Jericho is Raw, and you have somebody that is getting over that will be then talked about. Wow, something happened between Jericho and Elias, and I believe that they wasted a big moment. I'm not saying that Jericho should have attacked Elias or vice versa, but they had more options than just something in the backstage. You throw something big like that on the backstage. Not good.
Emil Papali sends a shout out from Arizona.
Arizona in the house.
Zach Cook also said they also made the mistake of making the anniversary the same night as the go-home show for the Rumble. Didn't build on any of the storylines.
Correct.
Rich Corpus says Lorenzo D'Amore to Impact Wrestling. Scott D'Amore's cousins from New Jersey.
Yeah, I right now I believe well, wherever he goes, I pray that things go good for Enzo, and we will see if he's innocent. If Enzo is innocent, it's a shame that this had to happen, especially at this moment. It's bad at any moment, but even if he's innocent, people, you have TMZ, other showing the video of the alleged victim, and I am no one to say she's lying or she's saying the truth, but it's a big accusation, and just the fact that he was trying to, in today's world, how could you hide it from a company like WWE? I think that it would have been better off for him to tell them the truth. I mean, he was afraid, obviously, of losing the push, losing the title, but this way, he's in bigger trouble, because now the truth is coming out about him lying to the company. So now, as a producer, as a promoter, I'm not saying that I will not hire Enzo, but I'm going to have to wait and see what happens with the accusations, because you do not want to have a talent scheduling your show that has an accusation of this serious.
Yeah,
you know,
we have two sons, and
yeah.
I would always tell them,
Yeah.
you better say the things now, because whatever you brush under the rug, it just grows under the rug, and sooner or later it's coming out. And the more you wait, the worse it gets. Anyway, Bobby Watson says, "Are you feeling sick? You have the flu?" And also, I live in Australia. He said, "Do you think that WWE will ever do a live pay-per-view over here in Australia?"
The problem with the overseas pay-per-views is the time zone. You know, when we did the report of Wrestle Kingdom from New Japan Pro Wrestling, the times, like for you guys, New Japan is your time. But for the rest of the world, to see something live, we are on the opposite, you know, hour schedule. And yes, we are just recovering from cough and cold. We were in South America and Bolivia, where the altitude is so high it affected our lungs.
It's higher than Mexico City.
Yeah, higher than Mexico City. So
it's the highest capital of the world, I believe.
Yeah, so we're recovering, but we did not want to miss this live Facebook, because, you know, we appreciate you guys.
Gurpreet Singh says, "How do you see future for Jason Jordan? This guy is heavily pushed, but is worth nothing. His in-ring skills and promos are mediocre."
Yeah, and I do believe he has talent. It was just a horrible creative idea of having like the illegitimate son of Kurt Angle. People were not buying that. They're not buying that. Perhaps this now of him and his emotions getting between him and his partner and all of that, it's getting more of a semi-heel reaction. And the promos are part of creative. You know, if you don't like that, that means that creative is writing horrible promos for him. That's as simple as I could tell you.
Tristan Perkins says, "Do you think WWE will ever have pyro again?"
You know, that's many people ask about that. You know what is curious for me? That having horrible creative, sometimes it doesn't bother the fans as much as the pyro. You know, so to me, it's like perhaps that would be one of the easiest things that WWE could fix. A lot of them said it has to do with money situations, cutting on the budgets of the show. So it remains to be seen.
Jesse Torres from Bastrop, Texas. "Do you think Stone Cold is up for a comeback?"
No, but it was so good to see him do the stunners on the McMahons and him drinking the beer. I believe that Austin 316 sells almost as much merchandise now as when he was full-time in WWE. And we cannot stop praising the storyline of Roman Reigns against The Miz returning from filming Marine 6 and obtaining the Intercontinental Championship. Big push, solid match. One of the good things of the 25th anniversary, The Miz and his Mr. Raj returning to Raw like a big star and crowning himself Intercontinental Champion, defeating the new face of WWE.
Tristan Perkins from Louisville, Kentucky. "Do you think WWE will ever sign CM Punk back?"
I mean, you have no idea how many fans will ask the same question every week. People sense, and they are correct in my humble opinion, that CM Punk is needed. I think Raw 25th anniversary needed a huge surprise, like President Trump would say, huge surprise, and it did not happen. When they went home with the main event of Royal Rumble, the triple threat contenders for the Universal title, the Brock Lesnar, the Monsters in action. They surrounded the ring with the legends, but the people did not buy that. There was no need to surround them, and they needed a big pop, and they went home the wrong way. If they did not have something hot, they should have had that at the beginning, and they should have gone home with the Stone Cold stunners on the McMahons and him celebrating with the fans. You know, 25th years, and the best years were the Attitude years. They went home flat, and a lot of people upset.
AP Brandon says WWE is destroying the wonderful gimmick of Matthew Hardy.
Yeah, and you know the sad part is that just that, if you had let Walking Hardy and Bray Wyatt do their thing, that place would have been electrified. You don't go and I mean, you know, it's like cooking. I apologize for the coughing. It's like cooking a good steak, and then changing your mind and taking out of the oven and then put it in the microwave. And they took a good steak and they put it into a microwave raw time. Wyatt against Walken, and the result was the fans just felt cheated.
Robert Jamieson says, "Good day from Australia."
Australia in the house.
Who is your favorite Aussie wrestler?
Wow. I was privileged to manage the Australian team of the Kangaroos with Mr. Hefner being the original Kangaroo. And when I was in Mexico working for AAA, I did some play-by-plays in Spanish where you had Australian, the name in AAA was Australian Suicide, a young wrestler from Australia. So a lot of good, colorful wrestlers.
Tamara S. Battles asks, is Dolph ever coming back?
I don't know what the heck is going on with the story. Yet in this week, I am not talking too much about that because of the fact that the Royal Rumble is coming up. So I don't want to do any spoilers, but after Royal Rumble comes around, we will have the opportunity next Wednesday to talk about that. As much as I'm upset about the fact that the Spanish people were not represented in the 25th anniversary, and we have had wrestlers from the Carlito Caribbean, Cool, Rey Mysterio, Latino Heat, Chavo. We have had, of course, Eddie Guerrero and Vickie Guerrero. Not even one. You know how simple it would have been to have a shot in the backstage like they did with silly things that really make no sense, to just do one of those segments and then somebody blowing the horn with the Latino music, and then have Chavo Guerrero, Vickie Guerrero, the widow of Eddie Guerrero, have him in the car with the daughter of Eddie and Vickie, who is a wrestler, has been re-signed, if I'm not mistaken, with WWE. Listen, one shot, the fans would have loved it. And also the fact that just in the United States, Latinos, we are over 48 million fans. Just in the United States, with another 12 million more in the United States. And not to mention Spain, one of the biggest wrestling markets in the world, Mexico, and South and Central America. Let's go with more comments.
Steve Timmons says, hello from Hamilton, Ontario. Is CM Punk returning? I think you.
We have already mentioned that about CM Punk. I am one of the ones that says that CM Punk will benefit amazingly for WWE to come back. Cameron
Collins from Paris, Tennessee says, how do you feel about The Undertaker's promo on Raw 25? Retired or just having one more match?
Your question was already answered a little bit earlier, but I will refresh it. I think the doors were open physically. He looked good. He has stated he's the best that he's felt in years. And it could be like a $2 million payday for one match. A lot of the fans are asking, the defeat of Roman Reigns against The Miz, sorry, does that change the picture of Roman Reigns being the top star of WWE? I don't think so.
Kim Smith says hello from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What do you think Roman Reigns' future is in the WWE?
Well, that was what we just spoke about. I will also add to that when I see Roman Reigns losing against The Miz, I don't think that he gets hurt. I think that gets more of the fans behind him because they try to push him so strong that I think it actually hurt him. And I think finally now he had a good reaction coming into the building in Raw, and I think that created messed up bad with Roman Reigns pushing him strong, and the fans did not buy it. I think that finally he's at the right place, even though he lost there. And I still stated, I stated it before, and I'll say it again, what Triple H did with Jinder Mahal in India when Triple H defeated Jinder Mahal was not good for business, was not respectful for the fans of India, and it was not respectful for the future of Jinder Mahal.
Thomas Bostock says, lucha, lucha, lucha. And Robert from Green Bay, Wisconsin says, when is WWE going to retire the Spanish announce table?
Well, let me tell you something. Fans love the Spanish table. And now that it happened, you have no idea how many thousands of people wanted to see Carlos Cabrera and myself back as a reunion for the 25th anniversary. When you have Spanish announcers working together for 17 years doing Raw, and not to invite me with Carlos, I think that just proves that WWE does not understand the culture of the Spanish people and how much we, Carlos, the Boys Cabrera, and Hugo Sabinovich, has represented the people from all the Spanish nations. And people said, did you charge them a lot of money? That's why they didn't hire you for one night. No, we were never approached. We would have said yes. We love and respect WWE. They were my family for over 17 years. But it just shows the lack of knowledge that they did not understand, and I don't think they do understand how much Carlos Cabrera and myself meant for the Spanish nations around the world. I believe that I am not indispensable. I understand that. But for one night, they should have pleased the fans, bringing back like they did with Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, which I think they're the greatest combination in English. But I honestly could tell you, in Spanish, I don't believe nobody has done it better than Carlos Cabrera and Hugo Sabinovich.
Ralph Wentz from Outer Bank, North Carolina. Does showing Punk in the promos mean anything?
Yeah. Well, you know what happened? That promo, it had a bigger reaction from the fans. The showing CM Punk just had the fans enjoying themselves so much. And he was not even at the building. Let's see what happens with the Royal Rumble. We will meet again next Wednesday. I remind the fans that I will be part of Imperio Lucha Libre in Peru, February 4th in Lima. Main event in Lima, Peru will be Carlito Caribbean, cool defending the Empire Wrestling Championship, Imperio Championship against the Machine from Lucha Underground, Brian Cage. We have a dream match, Austin Aries against the villain Marty Scurll. That is in Lima. And I am the executive producer for New Generation Championship Wrestling in Kissimmee, Florida, Fire Frog Stadium, February 24th. Main event, crowning the first New Generation Championship Wrestling, Alberto El Patron, Alberto Del Rio against Carlito Caribbean Cool. Attitude style match, everything goes. The Giant Snitsky against Badass Billy Gunn, and many more matches. And I'm traveling this early this morning, coming up to Mexico on working on a new Lucha Libre production. I will have more information for you guys next week right here on your favorite wrestling page.
And Brian Perusa, Costa Rica in the house, and Arturo Jose Caballero says, hi from Venezuela, says CM Punk versus AJ Styles. I need that in my life. It
will be a tremendous battle. We have to sign up. I apologize for the coughing. We have been fighting this. Just got back around 1 o'clock in the morning to our house, and in a few hours I'm flying to Mexico to do a wrestling production. I will have more exclusive information about that next week, and I will be back so I could cover the Royal Rumble, and we will talk more wrestling next week. Anything more, Diana?
We say hello to James McCrossen and to Jason Skinner.
All right, so from Lucha Libre Online and all your favorite wrestling pages, keep supporting the page where you're watching this. Great professionals, great people, and let's enjoy the passion of lucha libre, of wrestling. Atangana. We'll see you next week, my friends. Atangana.